Hey everyone, today is Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas to everyone who celebrates it. I just want to run through the ETF watch list today, and what I figured I would do is go from the worst to the best performers, and I'm not going to spend too much time on anything that was down today because typically you're not going to want to buy it if it's on a down day. I did mention yesterday that SBIT would be a very risky buy. You don't want to be shorting Bitcoin, and I was certainly right about that. It got crushed today, SBIT, down almost 13%, 12.47. So it looked good yesterday, but yeah, of all the stuff that I suggested yesterday, there was a half a dozen that I thought looked pretty good. This was on my list, but boy, did it get crushed. Everything else that I had mentioned actually did well, but SBIT was by far the worst one. So yeah, that was my big loser for the day. And how I would have handled this if I happened to have bought it, which I wouldn't have. You can see it basically gapped down to start the day. I would have been out of it right away. You can tell before the market opens. I always take a look, see what the ETFs that I would be holding would be doing. And in the case of this thing, I would have seen that it was opening lower than its low the previous day. And that's enough for me to say, I'm getting out. I don't want to sit around and hope and pray that it comes back, because more often than not, they won't. So yeah, in this case, I would have been out of it. I mean, you can't really do much about it. I mean, if you're going to hold on to this thing all day long while it's just plummeting like the entire day, you're just asking for trouble. Why would you bother? So, yeah, knowing enough to get out and cut your losses as soon as you can, best thing you can do. All right, so the other ones, I'm just going to go real quick. These are all not worth buying. These are all down. They're all the bearish stuff. So it was a very bullish day today, even though the market closed at 1 p.m. There was some good action, and none of these had good action. All right, so moving into the positive side here. SLV did okay, but it's certainly not at a buy point to me. AWeb, another one, was up a little bit, but the bar is bearish and it's in a downtrend. LABU, it's turning upwards, but it's stuck in this downtrend like I mentioned yesterday, so that's not a buy. GDXD, this is actually a bearish ETF that was up today, but not by much. Kind of leveling off and staying at this horizontal situation. I would avoid it. TMF, this is certainly bullish. It's pretty good volume for half a day, turning upwards, but again, I would want a hell of a lot more confirmation. I mean, this is just the first day up in a few days. Strong downtrend, avoid. UCO, this is one of these sideways oil ones I always avoid. Nail, starting to come up. Not a lot of volume. Just like Labu, it's just too much of a downtrend, so I would avoid. ERX, starting to curl upwards, but another one, huge downtrend, I would avoid. MSOX, still basing, avoid. DRN, sort of like ERX where it's starting to come up, but it's an avoid for now with the huge downtrend. UDAO, same idea as all the others. TNA, this one's kind of going horizontal a little bit here. Small caps aren't doing too well right now, I would avoid. WebL, coming up. Decent bar, bullish, but it needs to come up some more. I'd be avoiding that for now. Tech L, nice day, new uptrend, low volume, kind of hanging out in this horizontal area. You can see some support and resistance type stuff going on here. Around 100 makes sense. There's better stuff out there, so I would avoid that. SOXL had a really good day, very low volume, but again, it's another one that's kind of just hanging around this resistance area. It's like, it's okay, but there's better stuff out there. Yin, nice day, gapped up, didn't move a whole lot, but it was all right. But just like I keep saying, there's better stuff out there. FAS, this had a pretty good day. It's a lot like the other ones. That downtrend wasn't as steep as some of the others. It's coming back up. Financial Bull's been pretty strong, so I would keep an eye on this, but it's not something I'd be buying just yet. I would want to see this turn around a little bit more, but it looks pretty good. It's better than all the others I've looked at so far today. FNGU, this is one that I had on my radar yesterday. It looked good then, it looks good today. This is one that I would be taking a chance on. Closed at 666, which is, that's a little scary, but hey, what are you gonna do? On Christmas Eve of all days, it closes with that. It's kind of funny. Yeah, it's looking good. So that's one that I would keep on my radar. Full disclosure, I'm actually in this now. I ended up buying this today. SPYU, another one that looks pretty good. I think FNGU looks better. It's coming up, but it's, yeah, I don't know, maybe it's got another day to go, but yeah, it's something I'd be considering buying. I didn't buy this today, but it's one that I'd say it's worth it. TQQQ, this is one that I did pick up today. It's in a new uptrend, very strong bar, closed right near the high. Low volume, but it's Christmas Eve, so not usual. Probably would have had about average volume, but it looks good. It looks like it's gonna continue upward for at least another day or two, but who knows. Boyle, I was right about this one the other day. I had this one as a risky buy, even though it's extended, but it gapped up and it's doing really well. A little bit surprisingly, because usually with these, the Boyle and the cold ETFs, they're so volatile. They can go either way every day. But this one's holding steady and behaving, which is nice to see. ETHU had a good day, curled upward. So looking okay. I wouldn't be buying it here though, because it's in that downtrend. BITU, so this is the opposite of SBIT. I took a chance on this one today. It's a little bit higher risk, but it is Bitcoin. I feel pretty confident about Bitcoin, so it might take a couple days to get going, who knows. But the way Bitcoin's been lately, like I said yesterday, shorting it is very risky, so you have to be willing to adapt. Like yesterday, I thought SBIT looked okay. Today, BITU looked way better. It was the best performer in the triple leveraged ETFs that I follow, 13% up today. You kind of think, wow, who's going to be buying that when it's up that much for today? But I do things like that all the time because it just shows strength. Like it shows that this is a very strong ETF right now, but it's got some stuff to get through. It's a little sideways here, but I felt pretty good about this. I mean, it looks like it really wants to turn the corner and head back up. We'll see what happens. Single stock ETFs. I'm not sure why NFLU is showing up there. Let me see if I can sort that again. Yeah, so run through the negative ones first. So these are avoids. These are all going the wrong direction. So they're all bearish. So then NVDU, this was on my list yesterday. It wasn't really wrong, but it didn't perform as well as some of the others. In fact, it was up for a good chunk of the day and then came down, up, and then it really fell down here. I don't know what happened there. But the bar to me is very much a doji, very indecision, a lot of indecision now, so I would be avoiding it now. This is the kind of thing where if I had bought it the previous day and I saw it get up to the high and then coming down, I probably would have sold it just to try to lock in a small gain. No one's ever lost money, you know, cashing out for a small gain, right? That's kind of one of my strategies is I get a small gain and the bar starts doing things I don't like, just get out. GGLL, strong day, closed at the high. It still looks like it wants to keep going up. Not a lot of volume at all, though. I'd be avoiding it for now. It's still kind of messy. MSFU, close at the high. It's another one that it's doing all right, but again, like I said yesterday, Microsoft is just slow. AAPU, this looks pretty good. Again, low volume. It's Apple. It's a slow mover. New uptrend. Looks like it's going to continue upwards for a while. If you don't mind, buying something that's going to move slowly and it's Apple and you feel confident in it, it's worth it. So that one I would put on my list. Turning upwards, but these kind of are all the same. All these ones with the light blue, these are that flag meaning that it's a single stock bullish ETF, and they all look sort of the same. You could take a stab at almost any of them. AMDL, I would avoid this one though because it's actually not quite behaving as the others, and it's in this downtrend. AMZU coming up, some resistance here though, because I mean look at all these bars that were basically where the high was today, so I would wait on this. NFLU, nice strong bar, new uptrend, great volume. I wonder if this is because the NFL is going to be broadcasting on Christmas Day. I doubt it, and it looks like it's got a little bit of support. So this is another one I'd have on my list. So I will update my list and show it at the end of the video as I did previously, so you can see which ones I'd be keeping an eye on, thinking about buying or have bought. TSLL, another one super strong. Looks like it overcame this little pullback and is ready to rock and roll again. So there's quite a few out there now that I would say are buy points. So I will get that updated on my spreadsheet and I will add that to the end of this video so you can see it all at a glance. So that's it for today, nice and quick. And this will be kind of how these videos are going forward. So one more time to go through what I had bought yesterday, or not bought, but what I had mentioned was worth buying. Boyle was the first one, and Boyle is still looking good, so I would say that's a success so far. FNGU, again, that's another one that, sorted by this. FNGU is looking great, so that one's okay. SBIT was the one of the 6 that I suggested that is absolutely trashed today. That's an absolute avoid. SPYU, another one that was pretty good today. Nice, did pretty well, up 3.84%, so that's good. TQQQ, another one, nice day, almost 4% it was up, so that's good. And NVDU, which did okay, but not as well as the others. I would have cashed out on this by now, although it is still heading upwards. This is why this is more of an art than a science to me. If you like to hold on to things longer, fully understood. I mean, I generally don't. I keep a close eye on things throughout the day, and if I see it starting to turn down, I see it going like this, and okay, that's great. But then I'd start to panic a little bit here and here and here, and if it keeps falling down like this, I'm like, oh boy, I don't like this at all, and I'd probably be getting out with either breaking even or a small gain. By the time it's doing this again, okay, fine, it turned around. But then if this happens, like, this is just not right. Like, this shouldn't happen. Why would this happen? So I would definitely be out on this thing. And that's one of my strategies, is have a healthy sense of paranoia, get in and out, don't spend too much time. Like they say, date your stocks, don't marry them. And I am a firm believer in that. In fact, I mean, I'm not really a speed dater per se. Like that's more like day trading to me. I'll take them out to dinner, take them out to dinner one night, maybe 2 if we're having a good time, kind of a thing. And then that's it, move on to the next one. So that's all I've got for you for now. Like I said, I'll be posting what I think of the stuff worth buying today and how I did with the previous day. So that's it, man. Until next time, we'll talk after the holidays, man. See ya. All right, I'm back. So this is a quick update of what I was saying yesterday. Let me move myself out of the way a little bit here. I'm kind of stuck here. Let's slide me. Yeah, that looks good. All right. So looking at what I had said yesterday and being as transparent as possible, showing what things have been doing since then. First one I suggested was Boyle. That guy is up 5.42% today. So that's great. FNGU up 3.69. And I'm saying in this column what the current status is. Here's the previous status. So SBIT, this is the one that got crushed today. I would say you would have been selling this at the gap down in the morning. It would have been a 7.98% loss, which sucks, but you more than made up for it with other stuff. SPYU up 3.84, TQQQ 3.97, NVDU 0.71. Now, the way I do things is I wouldn't be buying every single one of these. I only buy a couple things at a time. I like the higher risk. I like not having to keep an eye on like a dozen different ETFs at the same time. Right now, I happen to own 3. Usually between 2 and 4 is kind of ideal to me. There are times I only own 1. It's higher risk that way, but if I think about it, when you own 1 ETF, you're not owning just 1 stock. Most of the time, ETFs are comprised of a bunch of stocks that are all kind of related in some way. Like take SOXL. That thing has a ton of semiconductor stocks in it. So I can feel a little bit more comfortable holding just one item that way when it's an ETF. Like TQQQ is the NASDAQ 100, so you got to think of it as 100 individual stocks. So that's why I don't mind holding just one of them. I don't do that with individual stocks, though. I mean, to me, that's crazy because they can be manipulated so easily. I learned so much from the whole GameStop saga. So like I said before, I don't trust anything. So in a day like today, I mean, this sum right here, 9.65, is the sum of all this. I mean, that's pretty good. If you have made almost 10% in one day, supposing that you bought all this stuff, that's fantastic. I mean, hell, if you manage to not buy this thing, you're up 17%. Like that's a fantastic day. Not going to happen every day, of course, but 5 out of 6 is pretty good. So yeah, not a bad day. I will update this as well with the stuff that I just suggested for today, and we'll see what happens with that. So I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so back again. I had already gone over these previous ones that I had said were things I had mentioned yesterday, so we're going to skip over these now. But I added these other 4 because I mentioned them in the video today that they're actionable. BITU, it's risky because it's still in a downtrend, but it was up 13 something percent today. By the way, I have anything here, current status is saying NA, because I have this in the previous status area because it's really just, you know, status as of today, and then next time the market's open, I'll be updating it. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. It's a riskier buy because of the downtrend, but it was up 13% today, closed near the high. It's pretty strong. AAPU, that's another one that it's slower, but it's behaving. It's got a new uptrend, so it looks pretty good. I'd rather do the leveraged ETFs instead of single stock ETFs, but if you're into that kind of thing, it looks good. NFLU, another one, sort of like AAPU. It's got the new uptrend signal. It looks pretty strong. It has great volume today too. For half a day, its volume was pretty high. So that's good. And then TSLL, Tesla. Tesla's just become a very powerful stock lately. So that one looks like it's another one that would be worth buying. And again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. For entertainment purposes only, all that stuff. You make your own decisions. Again, I'm just showing you how I think and what I glean from the charts. So that's all I've got for today. I will be back in just a couple days when the market's open again. So until next time, may all your trades be successful, people. All right, man. See you guys.